here you find people from think tanks, from universities, bilateral investment treaty. So what's a bilateral investment treaty? Among them to protect investments between one another. Usually there's a dominant side of these things. One is more likely to be the big investor, but they appear to be bilateral in their drafting, and they should negotiate. But there are probably 20 or 30,000 of these agreements, and they more or less look alike. There's a kind of form to them, and they're more or less trying to do the same sorts of things. Avoid their own legal systems and use arbitration in domestic, or mediation or conciliation in domestic situations between two national entities, because for the same reason they want to avoid the courts, and they don't want all the expense, and they want less formal and quicker. So these people were at a premium, and a lot of them left the country, and they ended up working all over the world and being the head of all these new innovations that we have.
There's a better chance that the corporation will go into that country and open this plant and create jobs and fuel the economy than it will go somewhere else.
So what would be the arguments for doing it?
To have a better investment climate for foreign investors.
David, what would you tell the person who didn't come to the course?
I would be very interested in having a discussion with that person, but based more or less on what my colleagues have already said. I think I will agree totally that, in my view, what is key is ownership, sustainability, and adaptiveness. This is what I would be interested in knowing, that just how does this person view his intervention in light of the circumstances of that country, and how shall that intervention be sustainable? You know, the problem that an intervention is only effective to the extent of the lifespan of an intervention is a problem. And I would want to know, how this person is going to mesh in, to camouflage into the background of that particular country, and to be able to use the specificities of the culture and the background of that particular country in order to make his intervention have...
You actually worked next to some people doing this kind of work before in a different...
Right. Well, I mean, first of all, never stop studying in terms of trying to gain new knowledge, because you don't have to. It's wonderful if you come to this course, but if you don't come, there are many other ways, as we find out, to learn about these things. Technology right now is at that level where you can be sitting in one place and learning things that are going on in a opposite side of the world in real life time. The opportunity.
Ethical. And I think that's one great thing about being taught, and be prepared for a particular job. Most law schools, the general knowledge, the criminal law, and you get out there and start to find a way around. But for pro law, you definitely know the issues, you know what it takes, because you're being taught by people with experience, as to the rule of law.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the one that
when you are participating in the rule of law programs, is that you make sure that all the right people are involved. Is a teamwork. It's not one-man job, and you should have the buy-in of the country, all stakeholders included. Otherwise, the results and the sustainability is compromised, and that we should be humble when we go and doing work which is tailor-made for the specific country, for the specific situation. This is, I think, of great significance.
Rather than just changing or modifying what you have on ground, you find something that will be beneficial to these people that in no way is related to what you actually find on ground. It is a transplant, it is positive. Don't you think it will make sense to bring it down to them? Because before I came, I saw law, what I had studied, courts, people's rights, but now I have a bird's eye view of what law is all about. It's much more than I thought it was. It extends far beyond, it goes into even health. There's right to nutrition, not just food. There's right to nutrition, there's right to better health. And then looking at where we are coming from and seeing what people go through to get medical attention, you find out that these are actually their fundamental rights that are being denied, but there's no one to talk for them, and they don't even know that they are entitled to these rights. It's only when you compare your country to other countries that, if you go to other countries, walk there a little bit to see how people canvass for their rights, and how people also are aware of their rights. You know that there's a lot of capacity that needs to be transplanted to most of the countries where we come from, developing countries. People need to know their rights first to be able to canvass for them, and several things that have been overlooked. I think it's time now to draw governments and also people's attention to them. That's what I see.